Hi you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamira Elaine. For those of you who are new, in today's video I am going to be doing a chit chat. Get ready with me, talking all about the financial aspect of being a graduate student. Before I get into anything, make sure one that you are subscribed to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, comment, share, all that good jazz. Also a disclaimer, I get that this is, a very unorthodox way of filming a chit chat get ready with me. However, I don't have no lighting, okay? So we gotta kind of make it do what it do. And plus, I do my makeup in the bathroom anyway. So I have the camera facing the mirror. You all can see me do my makeup, and I can kind of just, talk. Would like to just, watch me do my makeup or hear about what I have to say, then just keep on watching. Let me just get into this video. Okay, so for those of you who don't know or who just haven't been following my channel, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. But for those of you who haven't been following my channel, currently I am in grad school. I am in graduate school in a school psychology program. This is already my second year. So yeah, I'm going into my second year. If you want to know about how my grad school journey has been thus far, I would advise that you look at my videos, my graduate school videos, because I have quite a few of them, and I kind of I talk about how I feel in a couple of them. So I would highly recommend that you watch them, especially if you are interested in grad school period, but also if you're interested in like a school psychology education related field. I know that all programs are not the same, but it's centered around the same themes almost. So I will highly suggest you watch them. But getting down to the point of this video is looking at the financial aspect of graduate school. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I come from a low-income family. Okay, so we all know what low income means. I don't have to explain it, whatever. So my family is not well off. So when I planned to go to grad school, I didn't really take into account the fact that I would be supporting myself, essentially. And don't get me wrong, like, my mom and my dad, they do what they can. But, that's not really a lot. So I didn't take into account that I would be supporting myself. And I didn't take into account how my work schedule would kind of be like on this on and off basis. So that's kind of where things get really difficult and really stressful. So during my first semester, my freshman, not even gonna say freshman, but my first year as a graduate student, everything was fine. Everything was fine because I didn't have a heavy caseload. I was only taking like a few classes, so it was really easy for me to work in between and things of that nature, right? So first year, it wasn't bad, not even gonna lie. Like, I was making good money. I had also started Ubering, so like on the money tip, I was fine. But then going into my second year was probably where it got the most difficult, and a lot of it did have to do with the fact that I got my own apartment, but that's kind of just a different story. But because I don't think, of course I probably wouldn't be going through as much financial stress as I am if I wouldn't have moved, but that wouldn't have changed my financial situation because it was really dependent on having a job and having the time to actually work. So fast forward to my second year. So second year, you have to do practicum. And with practicum, you are required to be at your school site for 2 full days, right? So 2 full days out of the week. Now, if you're thinking like me, you're thinking, oh, okay, 2 full days, that's 2 full days during the week that I'm not gonna be able to work. So I mean, it wasn't a big deal because I knew that, I'm looking for my brush. I knew that I knew that practicum was going to be a part of the program, and I knew that it was going to be 2 days during like the school, you know, the school day, because I mean you're working at a school, so that like wasn't really the issue. I think one of the biggest issues was the fact that my job was during the week, on the weekdays during business hours, so that 2 days a week for practicum was automatically gone, like, right, so it was automatically taken away. So that left me with 3 days out the week, right? Actually, no, maybe it left me with 5 days, because you still have the 3 other weekdays and then the weekends. So I'm like, okay, you know, it won't be a big deal because I could just work on the other days. So I was also in between jobs. That's another thing with grad school. I'm gonna come back to that point because I really don't want to be all over the place. But I was in between jobs, and I ended up getting another job at a coffee shop, right? So the coffee shop, their hours were a little bit different too. Like, it was, I mean, all 7 days of the week, but we close at 6 on weekdays and close at 5 on weekends. So it really didn't allow a wide range of hours for anybody to work. So for me specifically, especially if I have practicum 2 days a week, those other days I would technically have to work during the day on those weekdays and weekends, because evenings, I mean, I just wouldn't be able to work on the evenings. So that was the plan. The plan was, okay, since practicum is 2 days a week, then I will have the other days a week to work, you know, what the bam, especially because my classes, my first year, were all in the evening. So I'm like, okay, it'll work out perfectly, because if my classes, they keep the class schedule the same, whereas in the evenings I will still have time, a whole bunch of time throughout the day, to work. And that's where it went wrong, because my class schedule changed. So my class schedule changed, and it ended up being like literally all of my classes were during the day, which sucked, because now I'm going from 2 days a week that is fully occupied with school stuff, but I'm going to 4 days a week because I have class twice a week, and of course they're on days that I don't have practicum. So now I'm at 4 days a week that I cannot work. Now 4 days a week where you can't work is a significant reduction in income. Significant. Like, I don't think y'all understand how significant it is. I'll give you an example. So before, I was working maybe 4 or 5 days out the week, right? And a paycheck would probably be like $800, $800, $900. Now that I work 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week, it reduced to about $200 to $300, right? So we're going from 800 to 200. Now, like I told y'all before, I am somebody who supports myself. So if I support myself, then that means that I'm taking care of my apartment, I'm taking care of my bills, my car, I'm taking care of myself, making sure that I have food to eat, making sure that I have toiletries, making sure that I have all of these things. So you're talking about I have to get paid $200, $300 every 2 weeks. Y'all do the math. Please let me, can you live off of that? Let me know if you can live off of that. I really want y'all to comment down below how y'all was gonna make that shit work. Okay, so it was a significant reduction in income, and things just started to just like spiral downward from there. Not even gonna lie. Like, it just started to become too much, because I have all of these outstanding bills that I just could not pay due to the fact that my income had reduced. And I know, you know, what people say, oh, you know, in grad school, they always say when you go to grad school, you're broke and you're busy, okay? But they don't realize that, yeah, some people are broke, but they have their parents sending them $300, $400, you know, whenever they need it, you know, and I just don't have See, my support system is not monetary. Like, that's something that I would never take for granted. You know, like, my support system is not monetary. It's solely based on just that emotional and, you know, just other types of support. Which also makes it really difficult, because at times I just feel like, why am I even doing this? You know, like, having a financial strain is so hard, y'all. And I can see why people go and do all of these things, especially like illegal things, because they want to get money, because it fucking sucks. You know, it sucks not being able to, not even just, I ain't even talking about buy the stuff you want, but I'm really talking about literally staying on top of your bills and getting the things that you need essentially to live. So that was just really hard. Now, going into the graduate portion of it. Now, Loyola is a private Jesuit university, right? So a private Jesuit university, they do not, sorry, but they do not have supports for students who come from low income backgrounds, and they don't have supports for students of color. I'm differentiating the two, because not all students of color are underprivileged, and not all underprivileged, you know, it's sometimes that's the case, but not all the times. But they don't have support for either one, let's just say that. Like, they have organizations, or I'll just say this, they may have supports for students of color who are undergraduate but not graduate students. So with that being said, when I started reaching out to people at the school, it's just not, it wasn't a lot in place for students to receive that type of support. Right now, my alma mater, U of I, did have those supports, and I think it's just because they were a public institution, and it was just a little bit different, but they had the monetary supports for students who needed that money. And Loyola just doesn't have that in place. So with that being said, it is really hard for me to really vouch for a school and to really talk to people about my experiences at a school where I don't feel supported, especially when I'm in need almost. So, I mean, I've talked to professors and tried to brainstorm with the dean, and, you know, I have done things like budget appeals, you know, and little stuff like that of, you know, just other finances, emergencies that have encountered and have required me to use money that I didn't really have. But point blank, the school just doesn't have a lot in place to support students who financially need it, and that sucks. So I do kind of want to talk about ways to if you're thinking about going to grad school and you are someone who is not rich, your family is not rich, and you are going to be really supporting yourself, I would say really just do the research. And that was something that I did not do. I failed to do my research on Loyola, and I failed to really pay attention to the supports that they had in place for their graduate students, because it does look different from graduates to undergraduates. And I feel like I didn't really think about that situation, because I mean, you never really think about it until it happens. So I feel like, had I thought about, like, oh, okay, you Shanara, you know you're going into grad school, you know that you're supporting yourself. So if there ever was a case where, I don't know, you know, if something happened, an emergency situation happened, how will a school be able to support you financially? And that was just something that I didn't look at. So now I'm in a situation where I'm literally just trying to make it work, which is costing me just a lot of different stuff, especially if I'm supposed to be focused on school. And I think that's the really hard part, is that And I mean, sometimes I feel like it's unfair, but that's just kind of how life is, and that's just the mindset that I've adopted. Like, it's just crazy to me how there are people who don't have to worry about it. Like, they stress about school. Like, that's crazy. Like, they stress about school, and they stress about getting an assignment in on time, and stress about anything related to school, while I'm sitting over here stressed about paying money for bills, buying groceries, making sure that my car has gas, all of these aspects that kind of go unnoticed to other people because they are financially supported. So I think it is a big topic, especially for predominantly white graduate schools. It's a topic to be talked about. It is a very much needed topic to be talked about, because there are no supports in place. Why are there no supports in place for students who need it? You know, like, that's the part that I'm just not understanding. Loyola, if you ever watch this, why are there no supports for students of color who come from low income families? I don't get it. And then it's kind of irritating because it's like, you go to grad school because you want a better life, you want to have the education, you want to be degreed up, you want to, you know, check a bag, whatever. Like, you want to be able to have money, right? But then you have to go through this, and I see why so many people is just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna give me a job, I'm gonna make money, whatever, because it is hard. Now, mind y'all, I have to go through this for a whole year. Thankfully, internship is paid, but even still, it's not enough to live on as if I was working a full-time job. But yeah, it just sucks that, I don't know, it's just irritating that, like, I can't even focus on school because I have this whole other financial aspect that I have to worry about. And I could just be like, fuck the bills, like, you know, but then, you know, that comes with other consequences. But I don't know, like, sometimes I wish I would have went to a school that did support their students, whether it was stipends, whether it was fellowships, like all of those aspects that Loyola doesn't have, again, which like I said, I should have done my research before getting into this situation or before going into the program, you know, and that's for anybody that's thinking about grad school. Those are really important aspects of a program. Do they offer financial assistance? Do they offer fellowships, assistantships, stipends, all of that? Because if you're ever in a situation where I am, that shit really comes in handy, you know, especially if you necessarily can't work. Because then I have people like, oh, well, like, you know, get a different job or work this or work that. And it's like, okay, well, first I have to apply to the job, and then I have to get the job, especially, you know, if it's a night position, and then I still have to wait to get paid, you know. So it's still a situation where it's just very, what's the word? You never really know how it's gonna play out. And I mean, it's not really easy getting a job when you're in school and your schedule is not wide open for people. That's what a lot of people are looking for. They want you to be available to them whenever they want you to. So that has just been my biggest thing regarding school and the financial aspect. And now what I'm doing now is kind of just doing Uber, to be honest. I've honestly just been doing Uber and trying to make as much money as I can from Uber to pay my bills and things of that nature, because there is no other way. Like, I'm not gonna go apply for another job. That was the reason I got the coffee shop. And yeah, and I can't change my class schedule. So all I know is that the situation I'm going through right now is, of course, preparing me for next semester, because it's the same shit. You know, we still have classes during the week, and I will still have my same job. So I would just have to make sure that I'm prepared with what I'm going into, being that I just won't have a lot of time to work. So that may mean that I might have to really hustle over winter break and really save and make sure that financially I'm good, you know. Like, that's just how it is. So that was a lot, y'all, but yeah, that's pretty much the gist of my situation. But yes, if you are thinking about going into grad school, I will highly, highly, highly recommend. Well, I'll just say if you're considering going to grad school and you come from a background like me, highly, highly, highly recommend that you do your research. Don't just apply to a program because you just want to go to school. That's just a waste of time and a waste of money, my opinion. So really make sure that you're researching where you're going, researching what they have in place for students and things of that nature. And I feel like we're at an age where that should just be a given. It should just be a given to understand what supports are in place for you, and not just learn about them when you get there, because they may not have it and then it's gonna be too late. But I'm making it work though. I think people would have never known, especially because I am trying to run a business. Oh my god, like, it's just a lot. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't really understand what I'm going through or understand my situation, which is fine. I ain't looking for no pity party, and I really don't even like involving people in my business, to be honest. So, but I did kind of just want to get on here and share it with y'all because she was just eating me up alive, for real. I ain't even gonna get started on a lot of different stuff, but yeah. Come to find out, I don't have any mascara. So you guys, my camera cut off because of the battery, so I just had to film this on my phone. I'm not actually gonna get ready and do my hair. I kind of just wanted to do my makeup and talk. So now that my makeup is finished, yeah, that's the end of this video. I just wanted to do an outro because the battery died. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.